Hi everyone, welcome back. I am working on a little project today and I'm really glad you can join me for a craft with me. So when I do a craft with me, I fully expect you to throw this on in the background and grab whatever project that you're working on and let's craft together. So yeah, this is how I do it. When I'm working on projects, I'll throw videos on YouTube and watch them, see what everybody else is up to while I craft away. So today I am working on a kit, and this kit is from Happy Humble Designs, and it's designed to be accessories for a little Thanksgiving display, a tiered tray, however you want to use it. So in this kit, there are 3 signs. I'll show you those. This first one is a little round circle and it says leftovers are for quitters. There's a couple hearts, there's some veg, a fork, and a plate, and all of these pieces are designed in as they're all cut out separately. So I just want to show you the quality of this. There. Like, isn't that amazing? They're so good, and it's not really thin. It's a good quality wood. These pieces are amazing. What I love about them is that you don't have to be able to paint meticulous little bits because these are cut out separate. You paint your color, then you glue it all together, and there's no going outside the lines. So there's this round circle, which is really, really cute. There's this sign that looks like staggered boards. It says it's food coma season, and even the pie, there's the bottom of the pie, the top of the pie, and the crust edge, all separately, so you don't have to worry about painting outside the lines. There is this one, it says turkey gravy, and then there is this really cute casserole, and it says turkey gravy, beans and rolls, let me see that casserole. Really adorable. There's a little gravy boat to paint and then add a little bit of decor on the side of it. There is this wonderful piece, and this is designed as a tag. It says it's turkey time, and it even has the little reinforcement that goes around the edge of the tag, so you can paint that up as well. And then you put this on a bead garland, and it has this little turkey leg that goes on the other end of the beaded garland. It already has a hole in it for your string, and then it has a little garland that you can make. And this garland, each piece of this pie has your background color. It has your crust that lays over top. It has the whipped cream edge and the little dollop of whipped cream that goes in the center as well. These are really adorable, and I'm really looking forward to doing it. Now, I'll put the information for Happy Humble Designs for their Facebook page in the description box. Go on over there, show them a little bit of love. This is a $20 kit. There's no way in the world that I could afford the equipment that it takes to cut this type of stuff out. I couldn't do this by hand. For me, a $20 kit that's a DIY that I can do myself in my own colors, well worth it. And they do ship So yeah, go on over to the Facebook page, show them a little love, and look at all the wonderful photos of the things that she's got. Also, Sherry paints these kits up and sells them for just a little bit more if you're not a DIY person yourself. So on my table to get me started, I have a whole variety of chalk paints, acrylic paints. I've got a whole variety of fall colors out. I have all my paintbrushes here ready to go. And I have some water in case I need to thin something down. And I also have a jar of water that I put just a teeny tiny little drop of dish soap in so that I can soak my brushes in there. So let's get started on these. I think I'm going to do this one first. So what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to shove all of these back and out of the way so I've got lots of room to work on each individual little piece. So food coma season, I have this really pretty spun gold. And I'm just going to put just a tad in there. I'm not going to use too much of it for the background. I want to leave the background a little bit just a little bit neutral, just a little bit neutral. So I'm going to dab my brush in my water first so that when I put my paint on my brush, I've got more like a wash there. Let's get this all soaked in there. And then I'm going to just wash over this. Now remember, you can do any colors that you want to. In the one that Sherry painted on the website, she does her background orange. So do your colors, do whatever you want. So I'm going to put a nice wash of this. And because it's watered down, it's going to soak into the wood. But it's also going to leave this background showing a little bit so that I can see where to glue all my pieces. And this is more like a gold or a tan stain. I'm going to set that up there, and that should only take a minute to dry. And I'm going to add a little bit of this tan acrylic paint. It's called Cashmere Tan. Yeah. So some of these colors haven't been used for quite some time. And I'm going to use the Cashmere Tan. And I'm going to paint my pie crust. I want that to be, I think maybe that should be a different color. I might dry this and change the color. And this one as well. And I want it to be just a tiny little bit darker, but I thought I'd do something a little bit different. So this is a metallic, and it'll give this a little bit of a shine, but why not? I mean, I'm not going to eat this pie, and I'm not going to put very much on there. So as you can see, I've got that's my spun gold, my tan. I'm just going to use my wet brush and mix some of that metallic in there. And it is called Rich Espresso. See how easy it is to paint these little pieces? Oh my gosh. You don't have to be a very experienced DIYer to be able to do these. So I dried this a little bit. I'm going to be able to paint over top of it. I'm thinking more color of a pie plate. I'm just going to grab another little brush here. And I'm pretty sure I had some silver out here. I think I thought about this when I was setting my stuff out. This is just the Crafters acrylic. This is from Dollarama, guys, the dollar store. It's called Silver Morning. And I'm not going to use much of this, and I don't want it mixed in with my other paint. So I'm just going to put a little bit on here so that I can get it onto my brush. Okay, let's see what happens. Oh yeah, that's better. Yeah, and I might even do another coat of that on there. So I'm just going to drop that in there for a minute and set this over here and give that a minute to dry. But now I've got my words. It's food coma season. Yeah, I want this to be bright orange. I can't think of a better color to use. So if I have painted my background a color, then I might make a white and make that pop, my letters pop. And that's what Sherry did when she painted hers. But I want my letters orange and my background neutral, which is what I'm going for. So yeah, and I mean, I can't say this enough. When you're doing yours, you paint it whatever color you want to paint it. I actually have pumpkin orange. And I use this a lot in the fall, hence the big 8-ounce bottle that I picked up at, I think I got this at Walmart, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm going to put this in my other tray, my jar lid. See, I don't want to mix it with my beiges and my neutrals that I've got on here. I'm going to grab this little brush with an angle because I think it'll be easier to paint my letters. So a little trick, I'm going to grab my tweezers just to make this a little bit easier and a little less messy. There. So I have my letters painted. I'm going to grab my black. This is my black chalk paint. And I'm going to grab the top of my piece of pie. This one, maybe it's just a little pointed brush, but I want to make some little holes in the top of my pie crust. So I'm thinking that if I just take this little brush here and just go all I did was just dab my brush down sideways, and I've got those little vent holes for the top of my pie crust. I didn't even pour any paint out. All I did was use my lid. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to put just another coat of paint on the silver. I sometimes think that my dog is more like a Great Dane than a Chihuahua Shih Tzu cross, because when he drinks and when he eats, he makes enough noise for a great big dog. So I have all my parts and I have my little sign. Now I'm going to glue this together. And I want to show you, I'm just using Elmer's school glue to glue these together. It works, and this is not going to be outside. So, I mean, I don't need anything special. So I just put a bit of glue on the back, and then following the outline that's on the background, I'm just going to glue it down. I have a fly in. I just let a fly in with the dog. Oh my gosh, that never happens. I'm going to have to grab a fly swatter and go get rid of that. What I do with mine when they're all finished as well as I've got a white pen, and I'll go along my signs and different pieces after it's all done and it's dried. I mean, really dried, like overnight. And I will put some highlights on here. And so I might go along and put some little white highlights on my pie crust or the dishes, you know, wherever I think it needs something. You can use a black pen as well. Maybe put some little outlines on your pie plate. Just do it until you're happy with the way that it looks. And what I really like about this is that the outlines are there, so you even know where to glue everything down. It's so easy. So I'm so happy that I found Sherry and her husband Terry, and this is what they do. They do craft sales all summer. They go to all the fairs, the events, and set up their table, and they have their kits already done. How I found them was they are local, and they do a paint night group once a month, and you can choose your kit. They have mostly 3 kits, I think, that you can choose from. And they rent a spot, and it's a social get-together where you can craft with other ladies. There's even a few gentlemen that do it. And yeah, there's couples there. It's fun. And I found it just at in the early spring, just before school was out, and they don't do it over the summer because they've got so much to do. So this one, I want to paint my background. I'm going to use very similar to the colors that she used on this one because I think they were perfect on this one. And her background piece is kind of that silver gray. Because her background piece is like a charger. So it's a silver charger. So I absolutely think I'm going to do it the same. I am, however, going to water this down a little bit. So I'm going to put some of my silver paint on a plate. I'm trying to keep my colors separated. So I gave up on using the plastic paint trays, the little palettes. They just weren't working for me. They absolutely weren't. But, so my background, everything outside of this circle on my background is going to show. So I'm going to paint because I want to do a couple coats, and I like it to soak into the wood on the first coat. So watering it down makes it more like a stain. I'm doing this in my kitchen and my fridge just clicked on, guys. So if you're wondering. There. So also, I want my cutlery to be silver. There, I'm going to leave that over there. Whoops, let's take that little bit of a run off of there. I'm going to paint the sides of my silverware, I think. There, I'm going to leave that over there to dry. And I'm just going to go around this again. I like the colors that she used on this one. So I'm going to let this dry. And I'm going to paint I've got some of this, it's called Vintage Mustard. It's the chalk paint. I bought it last year because I absolutely loved the color of it for a fall project. I did my sunflowers with this. It is so, so pretty. And I'm going to paint my letters with this one. I'm finding just tapping down with the end of the bristles is getting enough coverage on here. This is only the second kit I did of this. And the first one I did was mostly black and white because it was a Ray Dunn display. So, and I used it. I set up my coffee bar with some of my Ray Dunn stuff and set it up there, and it was so stinking cute. I'll show you what this looks like when it's all done and it's on my tiered tray. I have these two little hearts. So I've got red. I want the red to be more fall-like. The red that I use is holiday red. So I'm going to put red on my plate. And then I'm going to start changing the color of it with, this is called Warm Penny. And I'm wondering what will happen if I mix. It's all Decor paint, so I should be able to mix my colors. And I'm going to put So I've got a big blob of red, and now I've put that copper penny in there. And I'm just mixing. And that's giving me, it's a rich brick red color. Oh wow, very, very pretty. And it's not mixing in as smooth as I'd like, but I think that's okay. I want to do my casserole dish with it, which I'm going to do while I've got it out here. Wow. So this is that rich, rich, coppery red. Oh, wow. Yeah. What a pretty color. So don't be afraid to mix paint colors. You know you can if you've got the same paint brand, especially if you've got the same paint brand. Any acrylic paints, craft paints, should mix regardless of the brand name. I think any acrylic paints should mix. Wow. That's a pretty color. So I'm going to set this back over here to dry. I'm going to do my 2 little hearts. I didn't need that much paint, guys. I've got lots of this left over now. But it's not bright holiday red, which I'm really happy about. I'm also going to paint like she did the background on the It's Turkey Time tag. So as well, this has to go up there to dry. So, because I'm back to working on this one, I'll just have a head start when I get to the other one. So I'm going to leave this just in case I need some of that red, because I mixed way too much of it. Now, for the rest of this one, this is going to be white, my plate. And I also just use my chalk paints when I'm doing small projects like this, right out of the bottle. And it's just a traditional white plate. I use white plates, so this is perfect for me. I love just traditional white dishware, and one of the reasons I like it is because I can go to the thrift store, and when you find white pieces, it doesn't matter if they're embossed with pattern, if they're just plain, but you can find serving dishes, bowls, every piece of dishware that you want, you can find it in white, and you can keep adding to your dinnerware sets simply by buying some white pieces. So I don't have 2 of the peas, and I don't have this leaf green. Again, it's the Crafter's acrylic. I'm just gonna take my lid. I have a lot of paintbrushes on the go right now. I'm going to do this green. Like that. I'm going to do, because somewhere taking this out of the packaging, and it was all vacuum sealed in a package, so it's definitely not Sherry or Terry's fault. But somewhere taking this out of the packaging, I dumped it out, and then I dropped one of these little pieces on the floor, and I can't find it. I've swept, I don't know where it went. I've been everywhere looking for it. Like, I've crawled around. So to get the peas on here, because there's this little, it's like a little broccoli floret that's on here, and then there's these peas, and I have this pencil. It's a brand new pencil, brand new eraser, so it's nice and flat. I'm gonna dip the eraser in here, and I'm gonna put my 2 peas on there, right in the spot that it says that they should go. Maybe I'm gonna do another one. I'll do another one here too. Why not? There, so some peas. It's time to put this together. So I dry fit everything on here to make sure that I know exactly how this is going to go together. And then I'm just going to move my letters, my hearts, and then I'm going to take my plate. I'm going to take my knife and fork off and my veg and assemble it. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the back of this, not thick. I'll put a little dab in the middle. I'm not going to put it on too thick. I am going to, because this has got the letters on here very faintly outlined so I can see where my placement goes. So that's going to go down there. And then I'm going to start with the leftovers. So I let this dry. And while I was letting this dry, I went ahead and painted. So this goes down here. I went ahead and painted all my other parts so that this video wouldn't be 2 hours long. Yeah, because I wanted to give this some good drying time. So I'll go over all the pieces with you and show you the colors that I used. Leftovers are for leftovers are for quitters. Yes. Yeah, you don't, I can't say that I've always finished my plate at a big meal like this, because a lot of times as the food's being passed around, you just put a little bit of everything on your plate, and sometimes it's too much. So I could be a quitter. There, get that on there nice where it's supposed to go. And then just a dot on the back of this heart and put it down there. I love that she put the hearts, these little hearts in here as well. I think that this just divides the top writing and the bottom writing up perfectly. And then this goes on this little spot. A little bit more on there maybe. Wow. Knife and fork. Now, I love the way this one turned out. I think it is so adorable. So this is going to take some drying time. When it's dry, I did this one already to show you how I fixed it so that it will stand up on my tiered tray like this. I have Jenga blocks. Dollarama does sell Jenga, the full-sized Jenga kits. Let me find one right here. So this is the one I'm working on now. But for $4, they do these tumbling towers. And they're Jenga games. A no-name brand. But there are 39 blocks in here. But they make the most amazing weighted blocks to put on the back of little signs, flat signs like this, so that you can turn them into something that stands up. And I put them on the bottom, nice and even, and then slide them up just a hair so that my sign is just slightly tilted. And that's how I put mine on. So I've got a block for this sign when it's dry. And I'm going to put together this sign. So I'll show you the colors that I painted this. I started off, let's take everything off of here. I started off by giving the background a silver wash. And I did literally take that silver metallic paint. It's so pretty. It gives it that kind of metal look. And then I just used, because the lettering is on here. See how you can see? The lettering is on there, and the outline of the casserole dish is on there. You can see where everything is supposed to go when you do a wash on your base piece, which I think is a really good idea. Now, it shows you where turkey and gravy go. It shows you where your casserole dish goes. And I just took a black permanent ink brush marker, and using the lettering that was on here, I wrote beans and rolls, let me see that, and casserole. So I chose to paint my casserole dish with the burgundy paint. I actually took a paintbrush, just a little one, and I watered down a little bit of white. I sat this in the bottom of my sink, in my kitchen sink, so that I wouldn't make a mess everywhere, and just flicked some paint on there. And I thought that would kind of give this the look of that enamelware, which I think is really cute. So that's the color that I painted this. I'm going to glue it down. And then I chose to do warm white. And this is an acrylic paint from one of the dollar stores. But my mashed potatoes are never snow white. I thought this could be like a potato topped casserole. Really cute. I used a little bit of black outline to define that a little wee bit. And I'm going to put that on there. And I'm going to make sure that I line my ends up so that they're in between the handles and above the pot. And then the word casserole I did in white. So I'm going to put that right there. And then I've got gravy. So I'll put that on the G, R, and A. Get it lined up where it's supposed to go. And then the V and the Y. And this yellow is the mustard color, the vintage mustard chalk paint. So I painted it this color first, and then I thought I wanted it to be a little bit brighter. So I took this bright yellow, and all I did was dabbed a flat brush in the bright yellow and kind of stippled it on top to lighten this up so that it was more of that golden color that I wanted. I mean, all your colors don't have to be matchy-matchy. You can add, you can blend. Like I said, just do you. Oh, isn't that cute? And of course, when this is all dry and that glue is completely set, I will put a block on the back of that so it stands up like this. This is going to look really cute on the tiered tray. So turkey, gravy, beans and rolls. Let me see that casserole. Now, I did these pie pieces. Oh my gosh, just look at these pie pieces. Aren't they adorable? I'm so happy with the way that these turned out. I can't even tell you. I've got these three glued together just to save some time. But what I did was I sat this, this, and this on my table, and I made 4 rolls. And then I took my orange and I painted the bottom. I took my cashmere tan and I painted the pie crust. Then I did cashmere tan on here, and I just stippled the worn penny copper on the top of it to go there. And then I just used white on the little dollop that is supposed to be the whipped cream. And so easy to glue all these pieces together. So I put that on there like that, and just line up your 3 corners, or line up your 3 points because they're not corners, and set that on there like that. Then on this one, because this sits half on and half off, which meant I had to get the glue right along the bottom, I decided it's just easier to put it on here and then line up the holes, and then give this all just a push down and make sure it's all seated together and the holes are lined up. So look to make sure you can see through your holes and everything's lined up perfectly. Give it all a squeeze together. Then once that was all seated together, just put a dollop of glue on the back of your whipped cream. And I just sat this down there just towards the front so that I can see most of this cutout diamond and the 3 along the back. And this is a dry one, but look at how, just look how stinking cute these little pieces of pie are. I just love these kits. I think these are really amazing for the price. So I went into my bead box. Every single time I go to a thrift store or a yard sale and I see bead garlands, bead necklaces, bead hoop, anything that's beaded with wood beads, no matter what they are, I buy them, take them home, cut them apart, and just dump them. So I got a big box of wooden beads. And I chose these because these ones that are kind of ribbed are already gold. These ones are brown, which is perfect for the turkey time sign. So I've got those strung already. I painted, this is the tan what's it called? Cashmere tan. And I added a little dollop of this rich espresso into the paint that was left over after I painted the leg part. And I just stippled it on the top here so that I kind of got that two-tone, that little bit of shading. I took some of the spun gold and painted the back of this spun gold. But yeah, this is just that off-white, the warm white. And I'm gonna glue the top part of the drumstick on. This is coming together, this whole kit. So just put that on there and give it a good squeeze. I find that I don't need to clamp them or weight them or anything. As long as I give them a good squeeze and set them to dry and don't touch them till they're dry, they've been setting up pretty good for me. So I did this in these different colors. So this is that bright burgundy with that that holiday red and the copper. And yeah, anyway, so they put this little Cheerio in here so that you can paint it white and put it around the circle here, put it around the hole, so that your tag actually looks like it has a reinforcement, just like real tags do. So I'm going to do its. I'm going to try to center it and put it so that it's just a hair off the top edge. Now, I did these colors. I did the lettering green. And there was a reason for this, because this is great for Thanksgiving, for fall colors. But by doing green on this burgundy and using the gold beads and having the little drumstick, there's no reason now why I can't use this. If I had to put orange on here, it would have been a little bit different. But now I can take this little bead garland that I'm making, and I can toss this onto a Christmas tray as well. It will be so easy. So there's always a little bit of glue that squeezes out on me when I'm doing these letters, but I haven't had any issues with it because it dries clear. This is Elmer's school glue. It'll dry clear. Everybody has access to Elmer's school glue. I mean, I think I've even seen it for sale in some grocery stores, variety stores, any place where you can buy kids' crayons and coloring books, kids' paints. They have Elmer's school glue as well. So it's turkey time. I have this nice little drumstick, and each one of these is going to be tied on the end of this tiny little garland because my tiered tray is small. And I'm going to let all of this dry. I'm going to take my pie pieces as soon as they're dry, and I'm going to thread them. And when I do, I'm going to use a stretch elastic so that I can put it around my tiered tray and just stretch it around like an elastic band. I'll glue on my little stands, and then I'll show you what everything looks like set onto a little tiered tray that I bought from the Great Canadian Dollar Store. It was really reasonably priced. I think when I got it on sale, it was $9. So this is what all these little pieces look like finished on my little tray. There's the turkey gravy casserole. It's food coma season. The turkey time. Leftovers are for quitters. I've got them on the corner of my coffee bar on this teeny tiny little tiered tray. I have the turkey time is turned into a little, just a little bead garland. I have the little pie pieces strung together and laid across the bottom. There's my little gravy boat. I think these turned out absolutely gorgeous. I never get really good color when I do a shot in this corner because of the yellow wall, but it is very, very cute. So I really hope you liked this one. Of course, I've got my Scentsy warmer as well. It is the fall pumpkin pickup truck. The little headlights light up. I love this little corner. So I really do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Let YouTube know that you're watching. Help me build my channel by subscribing if you haven't done that already. I'll see everyone in the next video. Don't forget to go over and give Happy Humble Designs a little bit of love on their Facebook page. I'll see everyone in the next one. Until then, bye-bye for now.